What's up, everybody? Tony Vizca here, back with one of these video vlog type things. I wanted to do one of these just to vary it up from gameplay to regular content and stuff on my YouTube channel. But let's talk about this. You probably saw from the title, but let's talk about it. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon is reportedly not a big fan of the NXT brand. The Wrestling Observer is reporting that Vince McMahon perceives NXT as a touring product and nothing more. McMahon reportedly feels that most of the NXT roster can't draw money for his company because he doesn't see them as stars. A lot of NXT talent would like a spot on the WWE main roster so they can earn more money, but the feeling in the locker room is NXT is more fun. According to according to the Wrestling Observer, NXT talent took notice of how Tyler Breeze was treated after he arrived on the main roster. Some of the locker room was reportedly disgruntled after breaking ground built up Tyler Breeze's move to the main roster, only for him to be treated as a jobber on WWE television. And we're going to talk about breaking ground. Let's talk about this a little bit with breaking ground. They did some awesome stuff with Adam Rose, and then they didn't do any of it on TV. And I think what happened was he was with Rosa Mendez at the time or something, and that's what happened with that. So let's take a little walk here. Let's take a jaunt and let's talk about this. So WWE reportedly saying Vince McMahon does not like NXT. I could see this being true. I don't think that Vince McMahon is... I think there's a power struggle going on here. And I don't know this for a fact, and I don't know this if this is very, very true or real or whatever, but we're going to say that there is a power struggle going on in the WWE. Right now you have Vince McMahon, the head honcho, the guy who's in charge of everything, but then you have Triple H down in NXT, who's basically running things down there in NXT, and he's the guy who is basically grooming all that talent, getting them ready, and thinking that they're ready for the main roster. Think about the only guy that succeeded from NXT is Kevin Owens. It kind of sucks because there's a lot of other talented guys that got pulled up, and they didn't really do much. I know that Charlotte is a star. She's going to be a star. But for Vince McMahon to not think that the NXT guys are stars is very, very dumb. I mean, you're building a brand. You're building something that is more important. Let me go back a second, okay? I'm kind of rambling here. But NXT is this developmental system, right? You have this developmental system where you can bring up stars and make them stars the right way. Why you wouldn't want to make them stars, I don't understand. Why you wouldn't want to take a guy like Tyler Breeze, right? Tyler Breeze came up, and I don't think he got a fair shot. I don't think he had the right kind of build, the right time, the right depth put into his character to become a star. And that's the problem. If you don't give enough thought, credit, time into building a star, there's no way they can become a star. They can be as good as they want and go out there and kick butt and wrestle their ass off. But if they're never going to get past that plateau of this level to the main event, they're never going to be a star. Look at Dolph Ziggler, right? He held the World Heavyweight Championship, yeah, but he's never really made that. Like he's won main event matches, but he's never going to be the guy. He's always going to be down here. He's never going to be up there. And it goes to a lot of credit that they don't give enough. They're not giving enough to these guys. If you have Tyler Breeze come up, why not do something with Tyler Breeze, right? You bring him up, why not do something cool with him? You have all the possibility in the world. Breaking ground, made a huge deal out of it, and no, nothing happened. It just nothing went forward. And the same with the Adam Rose, the ESPN documentary. They had a cool story about they could have pushed him to the moon with that ESPN thing. And the problem is, that's the problem. You can't blame these guys not drawing money or these guys not becoming stars on their own merit. I mean, yes, some guys just don't connect with the fans, but if they don't get a chance to connect with those fans, if they don't even get on television, there's no way that they're even going to connect with the fans, right? If you keep Tyler Breeze off television, you have him wrestle on Main Event or something else, how is he ever going to get a chance to succeed? And that's the problem that we're having here. I mean, yeah, sure, Vince McMahon says that Tyler Breeze isn't a star, and he's not. You push Roman Reigns to the moon, but you don't even give Tyler Breeze a chance. How is he going to succeed? Yes, I get it. I get the fact that some guys just connect, some guys don't have it, some guys do have it, but you're building this brand NXT. NXT is The brand NXT is more popular than a lot of superstars in the WWE right now. You could take a guy, again, you could take a guy from the independents or from wherever, put him in this developmental and shape him into the WWE mold so he is perfect for the main roster. You have a chance to do it, so do it down there. That's what it's for. That's what the company is made for. That's what NXT was created for, was so that you can have this developmental system to get them ready. Before, you'd have guys come up to the main roster, they weren't ready, they do this stuff, then they get pushed and fired. And you saw it with Colt Cabana, you saw it with a bunch of other guys that came up, maybe they're not so ready, so just let them go. And that's the problem here, is you're not using the developmental system properly, Vince. I know Triple H is trying, but I'm going to go back to that power struggle thing where I think that there's just too many hands in the fire. I don't even know. Too many irons in the fire? Is that how? I don't know what the saying is. Basically, Triple H is trying. He is trying to make the brand. He's trying to, because I gotta believe that Kevin Owens is a Triple H guy. There's no way that he could get away with some of the things he didn't do that he's doing right now if it wasn't for Triple H. And he's a good example of, like, if you let them be themselves, if you let them turn that character on, if you give them a chance to shine, you give them television time, they're going to succeed. And that's the thing here. You have to think about that. And I don't know if Vince McMahon's never going to watch this, and I know WWE's never going to watch this, but I do want to say that, like, if you want to have a guy be a superstar, if you want to build a proper star, you have to give them the time. You have to give them television. You have NXT. Use it properly. And it just sucks because now a lot of guys are down there in NXT from this article. If this article is true, there's a lot of guys down there in NXT that are just saying, you know what? I'd rather just stay down here because if I go up to the main roster, I'm never going to get television time. Down here in NXT, I can get perfect television time. You think Enzo and Cass want to come up to the main roster when Vince McMahon doesn't see any NXT people as stars? Hell no. Hell no. They're over in NXT. They're super over in NXT. They're one of the most over teams in all of WWE right now. You put Enzo and Cass versus the New Day. Wow, what kind of mic promo stuff you can have. But if Vince McMahon doesn't see him as a star, if he says all NXT guys are just down there to wrestle and then they're never going to draw money, well, then why would you come up to the main roster? Seriously, you have to think about that. You're stuck. You don't know where to go. I mean, yes, there's going to be guys that are going to break the mold. They're going to come up. They're going to break out of the pack. But look at Tyler Breeze. Neville gets a chance to go out there and wrestle. I'm okay with that. Let Neville do that. Just give him time. Just give these guys time. Give them television time. That's the problem. You got to get them you got to have eyeballs to see them. That's what needs to happen. And when you're not, you're just burying them. And seriously though, NXT is a brand for the reason that it's there. You have to build the stars properly. You don't build the stars properly, they're never going to succeed. Seriously. Vince, you don't like the way the NXT guys are coming. You don't see them as stars. You don't think they can draw money. Go down there to NXT, sit with Triple H, decide which is going to be the future of your company, and make them proper in NXT. It's simple as that. You can't blame their not drawing money because they're one person. People watch WWE because it's WWE. Independents, yes, you can blame a show's draw on the independents, on the star. If you have a guy who's the champion and the show doesn't draw, it's probably time to get a new champion, and that's on the independent level. When you're in WWE, people watch the product whether it's good, bad, or ugly, and that's just the fact of the matter. Seriously, that's the truth. If people don't like it, they'll turn off the TV. But most of the time, they'll say, yeah, I'm never watching again. But then next week, they'll tune in. That's how it works. If you want these guys to be stars, you got to go down to NXT, and you got to tell them how to be stars, and you got to sit there, and you got to handpick the guys. That's as simple as that. If you think there's too many guys down there that are doing too much stuff and they're never going to be stars, why do you have them down there in NXT in the first place? Seriously, why? If they're never going to be stars, if they can't draw money, why are they in NXT? Just because you need people for a brand? You need bodies? That's not smart. You got to build stars. If you want to have a proper brand, if you want it to be, if you want it to work, make it work. Go down there and make them stars. Tell them what they need to do to become stars. Yes, some of them should know it. Some of them will break out of the mold. Yes, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But if there's guys down there that are workhorses, that are putting in the work, and they're not doing it right, or they're never going to be stars, or you don't think they're big enough, then cut them. Or send them somewhere else. Let them go on the indies so they can succeed. The independents are thriving now. They're on an uprise. Let them go to independent scene and survive. Feed their family. I don't know. It's a crazy time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. With Vince McMahon apparently not liking NXT. Maybe he does. I don't know. But that's hearsay. You know, guys, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. As always, don't beat this guy. Too sweet. Oops, 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 oops.